Hey there.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I about got distracted and I looked down, it was 2 o'clock. I said, oh my Lord, what happened?
Mm.
I was reading emails from our principal.
Oh, how's it going?
No, fine. We found out today that all of these days count as teacher work days and we have to log in 7 hours a day of work on a login sheet.
What?
Yep.
Well, then you know
Now,
what
wait
they
a
get.
minute. Do you have the option to go in and work if you want to, or do you have
No,
to work
our
from home?
buildings are shut down. Nobody's allowed on campus at all. So our options are do your login sheet, work 7 days a week, take a leave form, or see if you can make up the hours later, hour for hour later.
Like
So
7 hours a week. You mean
7 hours a day,
days a week?
7 days a week. I mean, well, 5 days a week. So 35 hours a week for next week. This week, I think we only have to do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Ours, they did it completely differently.
How they
Like,
do?
okay, so we can go to work unless we're sick or have been around somebody, that kind of stuff. So there's a list of employees that can work from home.
Right.
There's a list of employees that cannot work from home that, must go in.
Right.
Or there's a list, and there's a list for employees that are a maybe, and they have to get approval from their site supervisor if they can or not. In fact, my principal asked me to come yesterday because I'd asked her to get hours. And that was what she wanted to talk about was, did I think our assistants could legitimately work from home? And I said, no.
Mm-mm.
They can't work with kids at home and they can't run copies and, do clerical stuff at home. So I don't think so. I think,
Yeah.
but if they come in and they're working in their own classroom and not engaging with each other, they're still social distancing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have the option to go in. And I hate that for y'all because I would so much rather be at school than have to write down 7 hours worth of stuff. That's crazy.
Right.
We have the option to go in. This week they're serving it as our spring break.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is not even counting. Like they're considering this spring break starting next week. We have options to participate in online PDs. We can have all of like my IEP meetings. I can do them Zoom or over the phone, providing all the participants are willing to participate in that forum.
Mm-hmm.
IAs, like my daughter's an IA at my school, and they told her she can do lesson planning. She can participate in some of the IEP meetings. I think there's a variety of things that you can kind of do, but it's up to you. Like I think our PTA, they served lunch and stuff like that this week. They out of catered foods, but I'm not going there. I'm like, if this is going to count towards spring break, I'm not even going. What am I going for?
No.
They had originally said they were going to move our spring break, but then they said that Governor Cooper said that no, that this is our week off. That not our week off, but each school system will decide, but it's not spring break.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think if they're going to require remote learning, you should make up the days.
Right. Or they should let us go in. If they're going to make us count it, they should let us go into school where we could get something done, not just sit at home and, make up stupid stuff.
Yeah.
No offense. Look, I got a lot I can do. Look, I got all these IEPs and data I can do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm there, here, or anywhere. But I know my principal, she just sent out an email about maybe an hour ago stating start setting up Google Classrooms in case this is expanded beyond the term that they gave us. We'll have active online classrooms and lessons ready to go. So I'm anticipating that they're looking to transition online, like everything will be online. So they're having us prep now.
Which I feel bad for those kids that don't have access. What are they going to do?
They got, my district found free. We got free. That was one of the first things my principal shared. They have access to free internet. And then we also provided like paper-based instructional packets. So there's a lot. I think we're actually hosting like a meals program at our school still for the kids who are, low economical status. So I think they're having the bus drivers help with that. So
That's
Yeah.
good.
Quite a lot. And I'm like, what the heck?
I know.
I think our problem is
What the heck?
I think our problem is we're just so big. I mean, we have
Mhm.
19,000 employees.
What?
in Lake
How
County
many kids you
schools.
got?
Oh, students. Oh, that's a good question. I want to say somewhere like 150,000, maybe more.
Wow.
Let me just Google it.
Yeah, because Wake is bigger. It's bigger than Durham.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
y'all split yours into Durham City, Durham Public, and Orange County.
I think Orange County, they already converted them to online for a while. So yeah, I mean, if things don't get better, I mean, that's the best course of action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How are we going to implement this and students really get something out of it?
Yeah, they told us, and when just all the chitty chat yesterday, because we did get to go in. Oh, I was right. That's amazing. 159,500.
Mm.
So 160,000 kids and
Wow.
19,000 employees.
How many? My school, I know we have 1,100. Like, we are over capacity to where they.
We have
We're only
2,200
supposed to have
students.
800. Yeah, we're only supposed to have 800, and this year everybody and their mama want to come to Gifton, so we are overpopulated to the point where we're like teaching in like the cafeteria,
Mhm.
the media center. It's like horrible. I don't even have a classroom. Like the EC is running out of like file cabinets. Like we don't even have offices or anything anymore. So it's a hot mess. But girls, you girls did amazing. You did amazing.
You
I
did
thought everybody
You
did.
girls did fabulous.
too. We did. I thought so too. And I'm glad it's the last one because I was not going to be able to come up with anything else to say about y'all.
Yeah. But you know what I thought about them? All of them now, it's like we've read bits and pieces of them, but now it was like this last piece tied everything together. Like I finally felt like I really understood exactly what was going on with kindergarten reading and exactly what was going on with ESL. Like I was like, oh my God. And this is stuff that, ladies, I'm sorry, but I'm going to save this because I may need it one day. And I love what you did. So I think it's perfect that now it kind of like pulled it all together. I think that was like, I had aha moments like, oh, so that's what, the whole piece looks like put
Right.
together.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Yeah. But it does make you feel better. Like, okay, now this makes sense. I see where it was all going.
And now
Wait,
there's a
guys,
light at the end of the tunnel.
I want to tell you something real quick. Guys, can you believe, like, we're almost at the end? Like,
Yes.
Can you believe that? Like, it feels like just yesterday we actually started this process.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Actually now finalizing task 4.
Yeah.
Like, we were kicked. I don't know if we can curse on here, but we
You can.
were kick ass, man.
Okay, so now how can we do this and tell them we want to stay a package deal for every class?
From now till next August.
Yeah. It's no offense to anybody else, but we really like working. We work well together. We like our team. So please don't separate us.
Please don't separate us.
Could we actually propose that to Church and Mr. Bullis, or?
I would
I
love
don't know how it works. I don't even know. Do we register for our next class, or now that it started, is it automatic? They just tell us.
Automatic, and we all stay together. Like this cohort, I know that much. Like everybody that started 601 together, we're all going to move together forward. Now, I'm hoping we can actually request, and maybe we'll just have to like propose it in the beginning when we get assigned to 602 and say, hey, we already have our Zoom group. Can we just please, work together?
We just continue.
Yeah.
Because it will cut down on our stress level too. Having to get to know somebody. Yeah. We already know how we all like things. It works well, and we get along.
And we're productive.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. It's like, guys, I don't want to talk trash about others, but when we had our last, what was it? Was it Mr. Church or was it Bullis? And they were still
Church.
Class 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? We still got people working on task 1 and 2. So I was like, we have to give ourselves a big old round of applause. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're thinking we're not moving fast enough. I know, at least I know, internally, like, okay, am I on track? Am I on pace? Because every time you attend class, you're talking about the next project, like, well, dang, I'm still working on this one. But
I know.
Yeah.
it's refreshing. I was like, okay, we're doing great.
I think we're doing good. I think we've paced ourselves really well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, y'all want to go ahead and get this done, and then we need to talk about too, after we finish this, we need to talk about the case study. I don't know if either one of you started
Okay.
case study 1.
I printed it, but I have not done it yet. But I'm
Pretty easy. It doesn't take long at all. So maybe we could get that done like first part of next week
Yep.
and get those, maybe do both case studies and get those knocked out. And then we can turn those in and then worry about like task 5 at the end of next week or whatever. Does that
Yep.
work for y'all kind of as a schedule?
I'm
Yep.
fine with that. We don't meet again, I don't think, on task 5.
Oh, we don't have to meet on task 5?
I don't think so. I don't think we do any of it. I don't think we do the review or we don't
Okay.
meet. But don't quote me on that. I think we should look. But something's different about it because it's just a self-reflection.
Right. That's what I thought. It just kind of tells what you did and how you did it. Okay. So if we don't have to do that, then if we could do case studies, then first part to the middle of next week, then we'll be done with anything
Yeah.
Zoom wise.
Yep.
Okay. Well, y'all just check your schedules and we'll chat about that.
Okay.
Okay.
I work from home, so
Sorry.
I'm good.
Yeah. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. I think I've got till at least after April 13th. And we heard yesterday 8 weeks. That's May the 11th.
Is that your county or they're
We
saying
have
that's
the
coming from
state.
the governor?
Governor. I mean, that's what they're saying for the whole state, that it's going to take up with the whole nation. It's going to take at least 8 weeks from where, if you're looking at how China and Italy and everything did from where we start, like China started in December. So they've hit the peak. They've been out of the peak for a week. So when they looked at that and planned it out, that it said it could be 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. And
See,
8
that's crazy. Okay, so we're on break right now. But next week, our kids were supposed to come back Wednesday. So our traditional schools have already done the learn from home, the Google stuff, and the packets and all that. We do that next week. But they've only told us 2 weeks, right? So we're really only making packets and doing all that for 2 days because our kids are only missing 2 days. And so we were like, well, let's go ahead and do it up until April 10th because that's when our spring break's supposed to start. We'll just have all that ready and parents won't have to come back and all that. But our central office told us today, do not do anything past next Friday.
Oh, really?
And I suspect that's because they're getting so much flack from parents that they don't want people hearing that or seeing that until it's an actual statement from the governor. That's what I think.
Well, and they told our people too, they told us not to grade anything and not to give packets because it's so stressful to people, that parents are stressed right now. Kids are stressed. They don't understand digital learning. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? So they said, for this week, don't do anything and we'll give you directives later.
Huh.
So it's interesting how the different counties are
Exactly.
interpreting the different things. I think it's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Like I think they referred us mainly to use iReady. We do math and reading it, and so we've diverted the students to that. And then the Google Classrooms that the teams are required to have already in place, the teacher just posted and updated, tasks and things like that. I know my colleagues, my co-teachers stated once we come back, we're just going to hit the ground running and like literally where we're supposed to be. So from that point on, whatever unit we're supposed to be actually teaching from, that's what we're going to be doing.
You're picking back up. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because in high school, we have end of course testing, we have AP testing, we have CTE post-assessment testing, we have all that, and we're year long, so we've done none of it this year at all. So it's
I have a feeling, I don't think any of them are going to be doing any EOGs.
I don't think they are either.
Because they don't have time to prep for it. And I saw on the College Board website, because my boys took the SAT last weekend. And now they've canceled a bunch of SAT and ACT dates.
I saw that.
And they're the ones that do, College Board, is the ones that do the AP courses.
Mhm.
Right.
And I saw where they, it was like on a news website where they're looking at doing APs at home
Mhm.
on the computer, having the kids take them on the computer at home.
Which that's going to be an absolute nightmare for teachers who
Yeah.
haven't finished covering. That
The
is so
material.
unfair to the kids because I mean, think about those kids that are in block schools. See, at least we're year long. We've covered the majority of it.
Yeah, we are too. We're the only school in our county that is. Everybody else is 4 block.
And if they're on 4x4 block, those kids have only been in school, what, 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, how can they take their AP class if they've only been in school 6 or 8 weeks? It's a mess. I would not want to be
No.
a chief right now. I love being
No.
Indian. You just tell me what to do and
That's
when to be
right.
there, and I am good.
That's right. I pass out lunch,
Yep.
make a
I'll do
packet, whatever you want.
Yep. I'll make a packet. I'll run copies. This is one of those times I'm glad I don't have my master's yet. All righty. Who wants to start?
I can start. I thought both of you did really well. It was very hard for me to find anything to say about either one of you that wasn't great. I thought both of you had really great visuals. I think, Carly, the only thing I put in yours was I love how your explanation of that. What was the acronym? Was it WIDA?
Yeah, the WIDA.
Yeah, and it sounded like that was more like questions and stuff, so I didn't know if there might be any kind of graphic from it that you could throw in as a figure, because it made me curious what it looks like, even if it was their emblem or just something that states the title of it or
Right.
whatever, because it, like, you really pulled it in and intertwined a lot, and I thought, oh, I've never heard of that. I'd love to see what that looks like, but there may not be something appropriate. But that was the only thing that I saw in yours. And both of y'all's, I think it might just be me, but it looked like y'all's spacing was extra in between paragraphs. And
It was.
I wouldn't even know how to fix that, but it just it might be my computer, because sometimes mine looks different and I check it and check it and check it and it's right, but it looks funny on my screen.
No,
So-
you were right. You were correct. And I went in and I changed it. And if Debbie, if you need to do the same thing, I just went in and highlighted everything.
Yeah.
You know where you hit like in Microsoft Word where it has the spacing?
Mhm.
It'll
Yeah.
say, like the more specific area, you're not where it has it listed. It'll say like line spacing. You hit that.
Good thing.
Then I had to go like before and after. You know how that section has before and after, and I
Oh, yes.
put arrows there.
Mhm.
And then once I did that, it brought it in alignment. So I
Okay.
did that, yeah, because it was
Yep.
looking crazy. I was like, some paragraphs look tighter, some look more spaced out, and I was like, what the heck? And I kept going back and trying, but it wouldn't work.
Yep, I did the
Okay.
same thing. I fixed mine. And I also, y'all both mentioned, and I didn't even pay any attention to it when I sent it to you, in the references where I had it single spaced instead of doubled, I went back and fixed that. Both of you mentioned that, and I fixed that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the only other thing I think I put on yours, Debbie, and I know you said it was a working copy, but some of the places, the in-text citations are like references
Mhm.
to appendices, and maybe I've been doing it wrong, but I thought that,
Yep.
like, you put the parentheses and the appendix, whatever, inside, and then the period
Period
after.
You're correct. And I even went back, and they never said anything to me in task 1, 2, or 3, but I went back and fixed it for everything because you were right.
Well, I didn't even
I
notice
looked
it
it
on the
up.
other ones.
Yep,
I
I
didn't
looked
even-
it up for all of them, and you were correct. So I fixed it on task 1 through 4. So thank
Wow,
you.
that was the first time I ever saw it.
Yep, but you were right, because I went and looked in our manual, and that's what it said. That was the example it gave. So I fixed all of that. Thank you.
No, I'm just glad to finally see it, because I didn't notice it before.
There's a question I had for you, Jennifer, on, you said under the rubric weaknesses, it says issues with formatting. Is that where you were talking about?
That's what I was talking about.
Okay. I
Because
just
that's
wanted
all I
to
could
verify
think
there
of to
wasn't
put
anything
there.
else. Okay, that's great. I just want to make sure there wasn't anything else.
Nope, that was it.
Okay.
I just put that in 2 different places because I couldn't find a weakness.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I went through and took all of your stuff. I'll go next if you want me to.
Yeah,
All right.
go ahead.
Like I said at the beginning, for both of you, I thought there was, I mean, it's very hard at this point. I think we've kind of gotten so used to doing it correctly now, you know, and understanding what we're doing, that it was really, really hard to find anything at all that, you know, we could even make comments on. Carly, on yours, I thought it was very well planned out. It was very thorough. Your content was well explained. It was easy to follow. And it was really nice because I really could finally tie everything together. I understood before, but then just because of the headings and things, it made it so much more clear exactly what you were doing. It was very interesting and a great thing. One thing that I keep finding positives, but because I keep finding negatives, but the one thing that it really looks like is your leadership of how you handled your meeting. I was really impressed with that. I thought you went, you know, you were very specific with them. It sounds like you really had it all mapped out. You're very organized, and looking at your graphs and your appendix, those were excellent. I mean, very neat and tidy. It took you a long time to do that stuff. It was really, but that really added to it and really looked very nice. And it was very well organized. The only thing for both of you, I think I put on both of y'all's, was to check your running header, you know, where you put that page number on one side and then Absol or whatever on the other side.
I was going to ask you that. We are definitely supposed to do that, have the words, the Absol acronym up there.
Yeah, running.
Okay, I've got to go back and do that for every.
Yep, he said we were doing the running headers.
Okay.
But that was in something from Dr. Lamb, I think, at the very beginning.
Can I ask you something, because I'm afraid I'm gonna forget? This is for both of y'all. You know how the first time you use an acronym, you're supposed to write out what it is and then put it in parentheses what the acronym is. I thought with APA you were supposed to make, so like if you're going to do action plan, whatever the Absol words are, that those, when you typed them out, would be lowercase. Because it's not like a formal group or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like the name of the document or whatever.
That's what I've been doing. I've been putting everything lowercase. Like if I named something, like my Objective Recovery PLC, I put Objective Recovery and all that in lowercase.
Okay, that's what I think we're supposed to do. But in the, I was looking at the example, the task 5 exemplar for APA 7th, and her Absol was all capitalized. That first time.
Or the words. Well,
but that might be wrong, because I've found other mistakes in those things. Right. So I think that might be wrong.
Bullis told me, I don't know what I'd ask him about, but he told me something. Oh, I know, I was going back and forth with one of my things for him, stuff I was corrected. And he said that there's some things in telling him that the example that we're using, he said, there's some things in that example that aren't right.
Okay, good.
I was like, okay. So I was like, well, that's what I'm using. That's where I got it from. I didn't want him to think I was just making stuff up.
Right.
And he was like, well, there's some things that are not right. He said, use your manual, whatever your manual says. And then if we make corrections, use that. So that helps you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Debbie. Are you still?
I was going to do Jennifer. And same thing. I mean, I enjoyed learning so much about kindergarten reading and how to help that, because that is one of my areas that I'm very weak on. And I know that's what I've got to learn is elementary. So that was very helpful, like learning about the, all the terms, what is it? I-station.
Letterland.
Letterland.
All that stuff. So that was very good to help me understand some of the things that, you know, I'm going to be expected to know if I do happen to get a job in elementary. But I think you did the same thing too. I think you had strong leadership skills and explaining to your group, because I think you said you haven't had a chance to like get your
meet with the administrator. I mean, she and I've talked about it, but I don't have a picture because when I've gone in, we've been dealing with this other crazy business. So I've got to get a picture and add it.
Yeah. And I got one yesterday. I went over while we were there yesterday. I went over with my people some stuff. So I did add an Appendix M to mine.
Oh, good.
And I went over the whole process with them yesterday. So
Good.
hopefully that'll be good. So I added that. But that was all I had.
Okay.
It was very good.
Yours was too.
Well, ladies, you girls did amazing. You did a great job, both of you. I'm gonna start with Jennifer. The only suggestion that I had was, I believe it was like in the first paragraph,
Uh-huh.
there was a quote, and I'm looking at it now, that's why I got you kind of on the small screen, where it began the productivity. I think you were inserting a quote inside a sentence that you already started, so I was questioning whether you should have it capitalized or should you, I guess, follow the same formatting as a sentence and just lowercase it.
Okay. I did read that in your review and I forgot to look at that, so I'll go back and check it.
Yeah, I just wanted that. This is the formatting, I just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, no, thank you for pointing it out because I need to check it. It's going to be harder when it's all together. I need to look at it now.
You're welcome. But you did, a phenomenal job. Like I said, leadership was demonstrated throughout the narrative. The process that you stated how you were talking about all the strategies that were utilized, the iStation and what's the other one right here? I got it written down. iStation and Letterland. And I liked how you connected the strategies with the learning process. So you not only mentioned it, but you also went into depth how it can be utilized in the classroom and what benefits the students will actually receive from the usage of those particular programs. As far as formatting, everything looked amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You identified your most pressing need and you connected your action plan and the activities included in the action plan to that pressing need. You also identified the assessments that you would utilize to determine the effectiveness of the action plan, which is something we have to include, dress thoroughly. You did fabulous, like I said.
Thank you.
My only suggestions in amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Debbie, job as well. Fabulous. Like I said, in my review of your work, you clearly mentioned the purpose of your action plan. You also identified the framework for your school program related to the goals and the research-based strategies. That those are the two components that you need to actually have an effective action plan. As far as suggestions, I'm trying to see, when discussing the progress monitoring process, you may want to include specific information in regards to what the criteria is to actually to the progress to determine if they're progressing or not. I noticed that when you were discussing your summative and formative assessments, that you did mention work completion and attempted. So I was maybe it would be a good idea to kind of reiterate that in that.
I did. I went back and changed that because that was a really good point, because we're going to have weekly progress monitoring with them. And I just went in and says it's self-paced. So I made sure they understood that it was self-paced, and we'll be looking at it each day because we have access on GradPoint to be able to look to see how many of the pieces of the modules they've completed. And that's a part of that daily progress. So I added that in there because I thought that was really key to what we were saying. So I did clarify that in that part.
And everything else was fabulous.
Well,
Like I
you
said,
also mentioned about the sentences. And now I want to tell you how helpful that was, because you specifically mentioned about in my action plan, the importance of the action plan, 2 sentences. I went back and read them and I was like, what the heck was I trying to say? I don't even know how you understood it because I didn't even know what I was trying to say, because I think I was trying to include a quote in there, and I put the quote in, but I didn't put like tie it to anything. So I totally understood what you were saying on that. So thank you for that, because you actually, there were like 3 or 4 different places, because I went back through and read it for clarity. So you really helped me by that, because it made me proof it, those areas again, to make sure, because there were several places that I don't know what I was trying to say. It was great.
No, you're good. And I think one other suggestion was with the in-text citation. I could be wrong, but because they changed so many things with the 7th edition. But we include our citation at the end. I think the period will go at the end of it.
Yep. Jennifer said that too, and I fixed them for everything, task
Excellent.
1 through task 4. So I fixed
Excellent.
it for all of them because y'all were right.
Hey, I want to ask y'all something else, but Carly, you finish, and then I'll.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Like I said, you girls did phenomenal. Everything was amazing. We just, and like with all of us, it was, for me, I know I had some errors because I went back, I read, and I said, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
But it was like I was so in a rush to just
We
get it,
got 10 minutes, ladies.
you know, get it out there to you guys to make sure that we were able to facilitate this meeting, that I didn't really pay attention to a lot of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Do y'all know, I'm still trying to figure this out because I'm thinking about when we start putting it all together. If you've put a figure in the text, in the narrative, do you need to put it again in your appendices? Is every figure supposed to be also included as an appendix?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think your figures are separate than the things you include in your appendix.
Okay.
Just
You're
make
either
sure
one
your
place or the other.
Make sure
Okay.
your numbers, like when you go in from the beginning,
Right.
make sure your numbers are all,
Right.
you know, chronological and sequential order.
Yeah, because I started back with one every time I did one because I was afraid they'd tell me to change it if I didn't.
Mhm.
So I got to go back through when I put it together and renumber all of them.
I've kept mine the same because I didn't want to have to go back and do it.
Yeah.
I do like you.
We got about 8 minutes left.
Well, I think we're done unless y'all have something else you want to say or if we need to ask questions.
I think we're good. And y'all, guess what? I recorded the whole thing this time. I don't think I messed it up.
Woo!
So if nothing else, I've learned how to record.
I was
I
going to
haven't learned
say.
anything else.
Yeah, my team texted me today and said, hey, now that you know how to make a YouTube channel, can you help us make one so we can send out a video for our students? And I was like, girls, I'll bring my directions.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
I had
not
to go
guaranteeing
through.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Well, what night, do y'all have your calendars with you? Or do you just want to
Yeah.
look at it and see how we
Yeah.
do for next week?
Sure. I can do that anytime. I mean, it looks really short. It's like 2 pages to read.
Very quick.
And
If we did both of them at the same time,
I think that's a good idea.
and then, because we can just, I'm sure he doesn't really need 2 separate Zoom sessions, do you think?
Maybe we could stop the recording and then re-record.
Yeah, then
I don't
we could
know.
do 2 sessions. I could do that. That wouldn't be hard. Well, considering my calendar is now empty for next week,
Yeah, really.
is Tuesday
Ow.
good for y'all about this time?
Well, I can do any evening, but we are supposed to be at work.
Oh, y'all are supposed to be at work next week. Okay.
Yeah, definitely through Wednesday because that's when the packet pickup is.
Okay.
So if that changes, I'll let y'all know and we can do it.
Okay.
But I could do it Sunday if you want to do it during the day, or I can do it, you know, like I said, if it changes, I'll let you know. But other than that, it'll have to be evening for me because.
Okay, that's fine. I was just saying we didn't have to worry about dinner. What about, you want to do Tuesday night then?
Sure.
What about you, Carly? Is that good?
That'll work.
What time?
Y'all tell me. I don't care.
What
Yeah.
time will you be home, settled, and ready to?
Yeah. Yeah, what time do you,
Probably
Get
by
yourself
probably by 3:30 or 4 o'clock, I would say.
You
Oh.
sure?
Yeah.
Take your time, get yourself home, relax, you know, and get yourself settled.
Yeah. And if for some reason we're running over, because I have a work day Friday and Monday and Tuesday.
Mhm.
So I would think by Tuesday afternoon we should be pretty set because we have to turn them in, all the kids' packets before we leave.
you want to do like, is 5 o'clock okay? And
That's fine. I could probably do 4 or 4:30. I
do
feel,
4?
yeah.
What about you, Carly? Is 4 good?
That'll work. That'll
Do
work.
4 then. That'll be great.
Okay.
So 4 on Tuesday, and we'll do both of our case studies, and then that'll be good. And then we can send those to him, and that'll be check. Has anybody work, has anybody even looked at TaskStream yet?
No.
Okay, good. Neither have I. Have you, Carly?
I have no idea what to do,
Okay,
and
good. Me either.
I'm
I mean,
happy.
I know we'll figure it out because it can't be that hard, but if we figured all this other stuff out, we can figure that out.
If I will be happy once we start doing it, if y'all want to meet again,
yep.
and just say, hey, I tried this. Hey, this was really helpful. I don't even understand how I'm supposed to fit all my internship hours on that one little sheet they gave us. Did y'all just
I
make a
made
bunch of
copies. I just copied it.
That's what I was gonna do.
Mine right now is handwritten. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and,
That's gonna take some time because my coach, when she came to my school, she said it is very important that you try to have proof for every single one of these. And she said some of them you just can't. There's just certain things
Yeah.
you can't have proof of. But she said you
like
really
that gang
make
meeting.
the effort.
I'll pray for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys something amazing. My clinical coach never came.
Who is your clinical coach? Is it the same one that I've got,
He-
Carly?
I got Ramsey.
Ramsey, that's who I've got.
Yeah, he was supposed to come to my school one time. He had the dates mixed up, and he never came back.
Oh
Really?
no.
I would let
Mhm.
church know that.
Yep, he never came back. And
That's
I'm like,
interesting.
I'm not going to track you down.
Yeah, exactly. That's not our responsibility, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, if you want any of this,
My site supervisor was waiting. She was getting ready to go somewhere, and she had an appointment, and she literally was waiting with me for him, my principal. We were waiting. And she
well,
was,
do you want this information? Do you want us to take pictures and send it to you?
Guy, if you know that would be helpful. Because I think you got more than we got. Yours must be really good.
I got some
That
good
was very
stuff, but-
nice. Ramsey was nice, but I didn't really at that point. I could probably use him more now than I could back then because I didn't even know what questions to ask back then.
Exactly. I mean, I think it'd be good if they did like an email or a phone conference just to tell you the kind of stuff you need to be doing. But
Yeah.
this is when we need their help.
Yeah.
well, my thing was, because I'm a proactive person, my site mentor already had the internship handbook. I gave her that way before he was supposed to come.
I did too.
I sat down and planned the activity. She said she wanted me to focus on instruction. And like I was planning field trips and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff where I had invoices and I have all that stuff that she had me doing. And I worked on that schools to watch presentation and all that good stuff. So I have some artifacts, but it's just the principle of you had my date wrong and nobody ever came back. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what
I
the
would
hell?
think Church or Bullis probably need to know that just so they could follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it on my own. I mean, I read the book and my site supervisor, she's actually doing dual. It's me and another colleague that's actually doing it at the same time. She's going to NCCU. So like this is foreign to her, you know, but it was just the principle. Like, yeah, I never even met this person.
Yeah. We don't know. All righty, ladies. Well, we are down to 55 seconds.
Well, listen, let's just stay in touch and
Oh, no.
Tuesday at 4. And
Okay.
like I said, if my schedule changes, I'll let y'all know and I'm happy to do during the day.
Okay, 4 is good though. That's great.
Okay. Well, y'all hang in
Alrighty.
there
Stay safe.
too.
Stay healthy.
too. Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
see ya.
y'all.
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.